Hi everyone, welcome back. You're still with us here on the C Morning Show. It is 7:15 in the AM, and for most of us, Friday is a little bit more relaxing because it's the end of the week. As I mentioned at the top of the program, the weekend's just around the corner, but many of us still sometimes feel stressed throughout our lives. I want to ask my colleague Jasmine here, what do you normally do when you have stress or you feel like just life is just a little bit overwhelming for you?
I take deep breaths.
Okay.
I think that's like one of the most important things because, feeling that I am with my body, that's for me, that what's work. And then trying to think about positive things.
Nice.
I think about my family, which is one thing that it grounds me essentially.
calming.
It's very calming. And probably my pets.
I heard of that as well. Like,
Yeah.
if you have pets at home,
Yeah.
they can actually just kind of take your mind away.
Exactly.
momentarily.
So yeah, I have those. What about you, Paul?
I got my kids, so,
Yeah.
but that can be good or bad.
Yeah.
Sometimes they add more stress in my life. But we do know that the term healing is a term that has been trending as of late, especially the last few years, throughout COVID times especially. And it comes in many different ways, such as many of us sometimes take a vacation, as Jasmine mentioned, spending time alone, and even various types of therapies.
Exactly. Now, one of that's been gaining popularity now is sound healing through singing bowls. Now, in case you never heard of it, today we have Jennifer Lee, singing bowl Indonesia therapist, with us to explain more. Good morning,
Good morning, Jennifer. Thank you for being here.
Good morning.
Glad to
Thank
have
you for having me.
So I see that you have a bunch of things here. There's
Yes.
4 bowls. Wait, 5 bowls.
Yeah.
And can you explain us a little bit more? What function do these bowls serve in the sound therapy?
These bowls are ancient sound healing instruments made in Nepal. There are almost no written official records about these bowls based on the history, and in the past, these bowls were used for drinking, food and cooking.
Right.
Yes.
So what are the origins of this being used as a therapy? I mean, obviously this goes back a long, long way, but
Yes.
how did this become sort of a method for therapy?
Since this bowl existed only in a few of the healing family lineage,
Okay.
so only some families in Nepal near Kathmandu retain this knowledge of how to use singing bowls for self-healing.
Okay. And you yourself, I mean, singing bowl Indonesia, this is something, how long has this been
For
used
me,
as a therapy for you as well?
for the past 5 years.
5 years.
Wow.
Hey, I mentioned COVID time. This would have been a perfect
Yeah,
time
yeah,
for
of course,
people
of
to use
course.
this as therapy.
Right before COVID.
And I think you can also do it alone, right?
Yes,
With this?
yes.
Oh.
For self-regulation, to adjust my nervous system, regulate my nervous system, and also relaxation to be more mindful and focused.
How did you discover this, by the way? I'm just curious. Like you started this 5 years ago. How did you get introduced to singing?
Yes, as an autoimmune survivor, I went back and forth between hospitals,
Right.
doctors,
Medical
and
therapies,
internists.
right? Yeah.
And then one day, my grandmother passed away, and I was at the lowest point in my life.
Sorry to hear.
And my thyroid became the worst at that time.
Right.
And I needed to take steroid and very harsh medical interventions.
Of course.
So by chance, I encountered Adeline Windy, my teacher, my singing bowl teacher now. And she with Gobind Vasdev, the instructor
Yep.
for Buteyko breathing. They started this course in the middle of 2019.
Right.
So I took that breathing class to change my breathing pattern. I fixed everything I could.
This has benefited you then,
Yes.
personally as well.
Yes.
That's how. Wow.
So I slowly was let go of medication.
So you trusted these bowls and the frequencies that they make really to impact you personally as
Yes.
well as your physicality.
Yes.
That's insane. How do you think that works?
Yes, because there are two things with singing bowls. The first is the sound it produce.
Okay.
The sound affect every organ, bones, tissues in our bodies, and it works by resonance.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
I've heard of it.
from the book The Biology of Belief by Bruce Lipton, they say every cell in our body has this antenna or receiver. So when it detects the vibration from outside, this cell, let's say this is our cell, and this is the antenna.
Yes.
So this antenna will work similar to tuning forks.
Right.
So the cell that is affected will raise its frequency, will fix its imbalances, adjust its frequency to that of the vibration outside.
Okay. And
So
this has something to do with our bodies mostly being liquid as well,
Liquid.
right? And then that we are actually very susceptible to sound.
susceptible to sound. Our body is more than 70% of water,
Right.
and this water is the conduct of the sound.
Correct.
And also sound creates infrared light.
Is that right?
Wow.
Yes,
Okay, that I didn't know.
near infrared light, because our cells communicate at near infrared frequencies. So it's almost out of the range of the audio we could hear.
Right. Well, I'm really curious to know, I think, from your own journey and your own
Yes.
experiences going through, as you said, you had an autoimmune, sickness in the past.
Yes.
How long did it take you to notice that this is what works for you after you've been doing it for so long?
Yes, because every illness starts from the blockage along the meridian and energy center channel inside our body. So I noticed I slowly became less anxious and I become more at ease. So just after COVID, around 2021 to 2022, I noticed fairly fast improvement.
Wow.
And at that time, I decided to take the singing bowl workshops to deepen my knowledge.
Okay. So I think yours is quite an extreme case because autoimmune disease is something that, people have to a lot of times turn to medical solutions. But we mentioned stress, anxiety. This is something that many more people experience. So apart from stress, anxiety, what sort of other benefits can people experience? Like what sort of ailments can this help with?
So for those who have psychosomatic illness like headache, their stomach, the GERD.
Is that right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. When they have anxiety and worry for a prolonged period of time, so the acid in the stomach will
Reflux.
rise, reflux.
Sure.
And for those who had difficulty sleeping,
Insomnia.
yes,
This can help.
yes, they.
This would be a good thing for me then.
Yeah. I'm curious though, how does one know? I mean, obviously you've been through many workshops. How are you able to figure out what sort of, I would say, you mentioned tuning forks, like it
Yes.
gives off different frequencies. Is it different, how does it work? Is it different frequencies for certain ailments? And how do you figure out which is which?
Actually, our body is very intelligent.
Okay, yes.
So when the sound enter our body, it's captured through the nerve ends. Our nerve is also the conductor of sound.
Okay.
So just below the skin surface.
Right.
Yes. So when the sound enter, our brain will entrain it, and then our body will adjust the vibration of the cell, any organ,
To what we need.
tissues that are out of tune into what we need.
Wow.
into the right frequency.
So we can actually adjust to the tune. It's not
We
that
need to
it's-
adjust our tune.
Okay, all right, that's fascinating.
Wow.
Yes.
And I'm really curious because you were telling us about your own personal stories. Have you, when you were doing these workshops, have you encountered other people who had problems and then because of these singing bowls didn't have any more problems?
Yes, I saw many people, they become more aware of their emotions and they can become fairly mindful because they can think clearly.
Okay.
Like for example, someone had verbal abuse from their family members. They are now able to stand up for themselves. They can communicate better.
Wow.
Okay, what about conditions such as, for example, I'm just throwing a few
Yeah.
out there that are very common these days that people recognize. For example, ADHD or things of that sort that people are now more aware of. Can this help with that sort of thing? Because,
Yes.
or OCD, those people that are
Yeah, yeah.
hyper-focused, can this kind of help relax the mind a little bit?
Yes.
It can.
Sound works by entraining the brain wave. So
Okay.
usually when we are working, we put in a lot of focus for decision making, problem solving.
Right.
We are on the beta mode. Beta mode. There are low beta and high beta. With high beta, we get into the anxiety mode. So for those with ADHD,
Yeah.
OCD, it will calm their brainwave. It will lower their brainwave down to alpha, a little bit more relaxed.
So it's just not all over the place, right? Because
Yeah.
I know that's a condition that people
Yes.
that happens with
Yeah.
ADHD. Your mind's just running
Everywhere.
Running everywhere.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's interesting to know that.
I want to
this
see
is-
how it works.
Yeah, me
Do you?
too.
I want to see.
No,
I have no
I've
idea.
actually went through this before. So
Have you?
I do yoga,
Okay.
and well, I used to do yoga, and then after every single class, our teacher would, make it, do like the whole thing. So she would like, boom, and then
Okay.
turn, use these sticks to go around, and then she would sing like these mantras.
Yes.
I fell asleep in most of these classes
'Cause
because
it's
it
so
was
calming.
so calming.
Right.
But I don't know if I think I did it myself. I would just be like too focused on getting it
Is
right.
this something that you do for yourself, or can it be done with a group led by somebody? How is it usually done?
I do it for myself on daily basis to regulate myself, to stay mindful. But now I also work as a therapist for
Yes.
Singing Bowl Indonesia. So sometimes we have appointments, private appointments.
Right.
People come to see me, and there are two cases. One case, I have this cancer patient that had her breast cancer, the tumor taken out, and she has chosen this alternative therapy
Yeah, yep.
instead of the
Chemotherapy.
chemotherapy because the risk is lower.
Sure.
Yeah.
Of course, that comes. Chemotherapy comes with heavy risks
Yeah,
as well.
super.
So she came back to me 4 times so far, and she's fairly willing to try.
Okay.
And she told me she feel fairly light after that, and feel happier after the therapy.
So we're gonna ask you to display for our
Yes.
viewers and for us. She's had this experience. So can you show us how it works? First of all, you have different bowls. What is the purpose of the different size? Obviously, they give off different frequencies. How do you decide which one to use, and can you show us how it works?
Okay, so these bowls have different diameters.
Yes.
The bigger diameters work for lower energy centers from the base of the spine below the navel just on the stomach,
Yeah.
and below the heart space.
Okay.
So the biggest diameter to medium diameter is for the lower energy center or chakras.
Okay.
As for the smallest, the diameter for higher energy center, for our heart, throat, and then the third eye and the crown chakra.
Okay. You're familiar with yoga. You know a lot of
Yeah,
these
yeah,
terms
yeah,
and how
yeah.
it works.
I was just
Okay.
like, huh.
Yeah,
Okay, right,
to
yeah.
balance the energy center.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could you please show us how one of them will work? I'm curious to hear how it sounds as well.
Okay. So before we start,
Yes.
we set our intention
Right.
Okay.
and then find comfortable seated position.
So seated like this is okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Spine upright but not too rigid.
Okay.
So we set our intention. Maybe it's for self-healing or to send love and compassion to all living beings. So
It's beautiful.
let's start. I will strike this. So now bring awareness to our breath. Focus on the sensation at the tips of the nose. Inhale gently and slowly. As we inhale, feel the expansion of our stomach and rib cage. As we exhale, feel our stomach falling and the contraction of our rib cage. Just be present with our breath. Keep breathing. Any breathing pattern is okay. Just observe the breath. Acknowledge any sensation, any feelings that come up. Let them come, let them go without analyzing it further. The mind is present with our breath. Now, direct our attention to the sound around us and to the sound inside our body. Every sound is neutral. There is no bad or good. Let them come, let them go. Now slowly return to our breath. Synchronize our breath with the heart rhythm. Bring back awareness to our breath. And our breath melts with the room. Slowly, our breath becomes one with us. Slowly let go of this practice. When we are ready, slowly come back to the physical body awareness.
Wow. Okay. Thank you so much. First of all, Jennifer, I'm gonna first ask you because you sometimes stress, anxiety that hits you throughout the day. I want to ask you first thoughts. What did you feel just now for the last couple of minutes?
Quietness.
Yeah.
Absolute quietness. And this is something that I really like about these because
Everything seemed more distant, didn't
exactly.
it? Yeah.
Something
me too.
that I thought was really important at the time just came like, oh, I can just let it go for a
Okay, I'll have to admit, I'm not good with meditation. My wife
Yeah.
meditates and she
Yeah.
tells me to meditate. I can't focus.
Same.
But because there was this sound, everything seemed very distant. There was the production team, anything that was happening outside our studio, I suddenly couldn't hear it anymore.
Exactly.
Because of the sound, because I was guided very well, by the way. Thank you very much. So it's helped us focus. So what I felt was, I had a lot of things running through my mind today. Christmas is coming. I'm
Yes.
thinking about,
I was thinking about
the
doctor's
shopping
appointment
list.
there.
I was thinking about things. I have a wedding to go to after this. I forgot all of that momentarily, even if it was just momentarily. And I think this, if anything, just for the moment that we are doing this, it really helps us kind of just let go of everything. That's how I
feel
felt.
energized.
Is that what we're supposed to get out of it?
Glad to hear.
Yeah,
Yeah, I feel completely energized.
that's amazing.
So I think, this is something that a lot of people should look into, definitely.
How often should one do this, by
Yeah.
the way? Regularly?
If we are practitioners,
Yeah.
we should first do it for ourselves daily
Okay.
at home, or we can just bring a portable singing bowl with
Right.
us so we can recalibrate ourselves any time of the day. For group sound healing, let the participants decide whether this is a good fit for them or
Right.
not. If they find the benefit, they will come back.
Yeah, no pressure.
Yeah.
How can one find out more about Singing Bowl Indonesia? By the way?
You can go to the Instagram with the handle Singing Bowl Indonesia, all in lowercase. And check out Adeline Windy, the founder of Singing Bowl Indonesia.
Awesome.
Jennifer, thank you so much.
Yeah,
This has
we'll
been so
check it out.
enlightening for me as well.
Thank you so
My
much.
pleasure. Thank
All right,
you.
there you go. Find out
Exactly.
more if you guys are interested, but definitely got my recommendation on
Yeah,
this one.
same here, same
great.
here. And we're actually set for a commercial break, so don't go anywhere and stay tuned only here at the C Morning Show.